Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to Screen Sanctum. I'm Steve, and on today's video, I'm going to talk about the three things in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania that I would have changed. I want to preface, I loved Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. The movie was really good, and these three changes are not me saying it would make the movie better. It would probably make the movie worse. This is just me and three things that I would have wanted. And I don't make movies, so it doesn't matter what I want. And obviously, the MCU's been going for 15 years. That plot points that are in this movie have to happen. Like, they're leading up to this. So it's just things that I would have enjoyed. Kind of like my predictions, I guess, before I went to see the movie. So there's nothing really major. I think some of you may agree with one or at least two. But these are the three things in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania that I personally would have changed for my personal enjoyment. Before I start, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you're on Instagram, Twitter, or Hive, come find me at Screen Sanctum. And spoiler warnings just in case I blurt something out. So the first thing that I would have changed is this. And again, a note, this would not have worked in this movie because Ant-Man and the Wasp, they all built up to the quantum realm. In Ant-Man 1, he ends up there and he gets out. Ant-Man 2, they're trying to navigate it and get Janet out. So we know Ant-Man 3 was going to take place in the quantum realm, which is awesome. I love that. If I could go back in time, I would not have put it in the quantum realm. And again, that's impossible. But I think the charm of Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2 were that he was basically a street level hero, and I loved watching him run around San Francisco, like just fighting villains that are kind of on his level. Like in Ant-Man 1, it was Darren Cross, simple, protect his family. Ant-Man 2, it was Ghost, and it was like really cool because you have all the background characters. You have Luis in there. I really did love Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2, and I did love Ant-Man 3. I just wish it could have had more of that feel of being outside street level. And it's kind of odd because Ant-Man 3 Quantumania still was a family movie. It felt both. It felt like a family movie and a huge movie. It just never felt street level, which it wasn't supposed to because Kang was the villain. But I think I would have liked to see that, not because I have fatigue in these movies, only because we have Avengers, we have Civil War, we have Infinity War, Endgame, Guardians. Even Guardians are like big movies now because they're in space. And we're not going to get Spider-Man for a couple of years, I guess. So I felt like Ant-Man was our cinematic street level hero. And he still is, but I kind of would have hoped, I would have liked or preferred that his whole trilogy took place outside. But I know it was impossible because this is where we needed to go to explore the quantum realm, to push us into the multiverse. So that's number one. All right, number 2 and 3 is putting point 1 aside. We're in the quantum realm, and 2 and 3 kind of go hand in hand. 1, I would have liked to see Ant-Man get stuck in the quantum realm again because not because he got stuck twice already, in the first one, and then he got out, and then at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, he got stuck again for 5 years. He got out. I can understand how it might be repetitive, but I think it would have been cool for him to be stuck in there just because when the next Avengers movies come out, and the next movies leading up, there's always that question is, why don't they just call this person? Why don't they just call this person? So Ant-Man's not in the quantum realm anymore. So it leads you to think, whatever the next movie is, Ant-Man's there and they could call him. They can't just call the Guardians. They're typically always off-world. Captain Marvel is off-world. Thor is usually off-world, but, he could be in New Asgard, but he's always protecting, like, Asgard. Ant-Man is always in San Francisco. So typically when something happens, you could just be like, oh, call Ant-Man. But I also think it would have worked good for the plot for number 3 would have been to have Kang escape. And I did put this list together before I saw the movie. So now seeing it doesn't make sense. But I would have liked him to escape because we're moving towards Kang Dynasty. But then when you look back in hindsight, and again, spoiler warnings, when you go into this movie, I thought that this Kang in Quantumania was the Kang that was actually going to kill Scott, get out of the quantum realm, and I thought he was going to spark the Kang Dynasty. And if you've seen Quantumania, that's not the case at all. It was kind of like a red herring. This Kang, he does die at the end. And then we see in the post-credit scene that there were a whole bunch of all the other variants of Kang that are now going to be pushing forward to start the Kang Dynasty. So even though it's kind of impossible, because if he would have escaped, then he would have been the Kang to kind of jumpstart that. But you could also have all the other Kangs like, shit, this one got out, we have to go get him again. But that would have been like a totally new movie. So I understand why they had to get rid of this Kang. And I also think they did it to subvert our expectations, like mine were, where I thought this was going to be like Prime Kang. And they were like, no, this guy was tough. All the other Kangs were scared of him. He's gone now, but there are infinite more, and shit is about to go down. So even though I would have liked this Kang to escape, from everything I said, it would not have made sense in the movie, and it would have made it worse. But I think the only thing that would tie those together more is when Scott Lang says he doesn't have to win, he just has to make sure that Kang loses. When he said that, I was like, okay, Kang's going to lose, Scott's going to lose. But at the end, Scott won and Kang lost. So it didn't go where I wanted it to go. But for this movie, it worked perfectly because of the end credit scene. Now we know, oh, this Kang, he talked a big game like he was the shit. And yeah, maybe they did banish him there, but he's not the one that we really needed to be concerned with. There are infinite amounts of Kang. So that's number 3. Bonus number 4, and I think everybody wants this. I really wish they had Luis in this movie, and that's why I wish it wasn't in the quantum realm, because Luis is amazing. So once it was in the quantum realm, I figured he wasn't going to be in the movie. At the end, when they had that birthday party for Cassie, I thought Luis was going to be there, but he wasn't. I don't know, maybe he wasn't available, conflict of other movies or shows he was shooting, Michael Pena. But I think it would have been perfect in the beginning montage and the end montage, instead of Scott narrating, why wasn't it just Luis? I mean, check that. It would have made sense for Luis to narrate the beginning montage because he witnessed all of that. And since he wasn't in this movie in the sense of story, he couldn't narrate the end because he didn't witness it. So, okay, I understand why Scott had to narrate the end, but I wish we had got him. That would have been cool. But anyways, I really, really enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Again, this list isn't to say how I would make it better. Like I said, it probably would have made it worse. These are just things that I wanted, and it doesn't matter what I want. It doesn't matter what you want. The movie is done. You watch it for what it is. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do, you do. Just go in to enjoy it. So let me know what you thought of the 3 things and the bonus thing that I would have changed in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Is there anything in there that you would have changed? I know I could have had a list of 10, but 3 is enough. But let me know in the comments below. What would you have changed? Would you kept it the same? What did you think of this movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why did you love it? Why did you hate it? And we could discuss. So like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And again, Instagram, Twitter, Hive. Come find me at Screen Sanctum. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace, guys.